2 years ago, I started noticing I felt weaker than usual. My joints ached more than they should, and my skin wasn't looking the way I wanted it to. I was eating fish regularly, thinking I was doing the right thing. What nobody told me was that some of the most popular fish at the supermarket can actually make all of those things worse, not better. When I finally learned which ones to avoid and which ones to choose, everything shifted. I'm Barbara Lawson. I'm 65 years old, and what I'm about to share with you is something that completely changed the way I look at the seafood aisle. For years, I thought fish was fish, that any fish was a good choice. I was wrong. And the difference between the fish that support your health and the fish that quietly undermine it comes down to three factors that nobody ever explained to me until I started digging into the research myself. The first factor is contamination, specifically mercury and lead. Since the Industrial Revolution, and especially over the last few decades, heavy metals have been leaching into our water supply, into rivers, streams, and most of all, into the oceans. Once mercury enters your body, it causes serious central nervous system problems. And here's the part that shocked me most. It takes 12 to 18 months for mercury to fully clear from your system. That means even after you stop eating contaminated fish, you're still carrying that mercury for over a year. When I learned this, I immediately thought about all the years I had been eating fish without thinking twice about which kind. For women our age, whose bodies are already navigating hormonal changes and inflammation, this is not a small thing. The second factor is industrial chemical toxins, compounds like DDT and PCBs that are byproducts of everyday factories that leak into rivers and ultimately into the oceans. Because these chemicals are denser than water, they sink to the bottom, which means they concentrate in certain types of fish that spend their time near the ocean floor. These chemicals can take 5 to 8 years to clear from your body. 5 to 8 years. That means the choices you make at the supermarket today are affecting how you feel years from now. The third factor is sustainability. And I know that might sound like an environmental concern rather than a personal health one, but it matters more than most people realize. When certain fish species are overfished, the surviving populations can develop genetic mutations and may no longer offer the same nutritional benefits they do today. So sustainability is not just about saving the ocean, it's about protecting the quality of what we eat. Now, before I tell you which fish to avoid, let me tell you which 3 fish I now eat regularly and why they changed how I feel. And I want to ask you something first. Have you ever felt like you were making all the right food choices and still not getting the results you expected? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one this week because your experience might help someone else who is struggling with the same thing. The first fish I eat now, and the one I am most grateful I discovered, is wild-caught salmon. This is the one that most people know about, but most people still aren't eating consistently enough. Wild-caught salmon is extraordinarily high in omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation throughout the body. And for women our age, inflammation is one of the main drivers of joint pain, skin aging, and fatigue. It is also very high in selenium, which supports thyroid function, crucial for women in their 60s, and very high in vitamin B12, which keeps nerves healthy and energy levels stable. But here is what surprised me most about salmon. Despite being a larger fish, It is very low in heavy metals. Its softer tissue structure means it does not absorb and retain mercury the way other fish do. The one thing that matters enormously is that you choose wild caught, not farmed. The nutritional difference is significant, and if wild caught fresh salmon is not available, wild caught frozen salmon is perfectly fine. It is often flash frozen shortly after being caught, which preserves the nutrients completely. The second fish that transformed my health is one you might not expect: sardines. I know what you're thinking, but please stay with me because sardines are one of the most powerful foods I have ever added to my daily routine. They are extraordinarily low in heavy metals because they are small, short-lived fish that don't have time to accumulate mercury the way larger fish do. And they are extraordinarily high in omega-3 fatty acids, selenium for thyroid health, and copper. That last one matters enormously for women our age. Copper is essential for collagen synthesis. It is one of the minerals your body needs to actually build and use collagen. So if you are struggling with skin elasticity, joint health, or gut healing, sardines could be one of the most important things you add to your diet. If you are new to sardines, try them mashed with a little lemon juice on whole grain toast. The lemon improves the taste and also increases iron absorption. Choose sardines packed in water or olive oil and include the bones. Those soft, edible bones are one of the best sources of absorbable calcium you can find. Before we continue, if this is already making sense to you, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing. You really can't afford to miss what's still ahead. The third food that rounds out my list is not exactly a fish at all. It is mussels. And mussels have become one of my favorite weekly meals. They are one of the most protein-dense foods gram for gram that you can eat. They are extraordinarily high in omega-3 fatty acids and selenium, and they are one of the best sources of trace minerals available in any food. For women our age who are often deficient in zinc, B12, and iron, mussels deliver all three in highly absorbable forms. The zinc in mussels supports hormone balance and immune function. The B12 keeps your nerves healthy and your energy steady. And the iron ensures that oxygen gets delivered efficiently to your muscles and your skin. Mussels cook in literally 5 to 10 minutes. They pair beautifully with garlic and olive oil, and they are one of the most affordable seafoods you can buy. I started having a simple mussel dish once a week, and the changes I noticed in my energy and in how my skin looked over the following month genuinely surprised me. Now for the fish you need to avoid. And some of these answers genuinely shocked me when I first learned them. The first fish to avoid is shark. Shark is one of the most predatory fish in the ocean. It feeds on other large predatory fish that already have high mercury levels. So when a shark eats a tuna that already contains significant mercury, all of that mercury concentrates further in the shark's tissue. The mercury levels in shark meat are among the highest of any seafood. For women our age whose bodies are already managing inflammation and hormonal changes, adding a significant mercury load on top of that is genuinely harmful. Additionally, sharks have extremely long gestation periods, which makes them nearly impossible to fish sustainably. Another reason to leave them off your plate entirely. The second fish to avoid is most tuna, but with an important distinction. Not all tuna is equally problematic. If you choose to eat tuna, the best option is U.S. yellowfin, which is leaner and comes from waters that generally have lower contamination levels. For canned tuna, the critical distinction is to avoid albacore. Albacore tuna has very dense, fatty flesh that absorbs and retains heavy metals at high concentrations, roughly 3 times more mercury than regular chunk light tuna. If you do eat canned tuna, choose chunk light and keep it to a moderate amount. But honestly, since discovering sardines, I have almost entirely replaced canned tuna with canned sardines, and my body has responded noticeably. The third fish to avoid is tilapia. And this one surprised me because tilapia is everywhere, and it is often marketed as a lean, healthy protein. The problem is that virtually all tilapia is farmed. There is no such thing as wild-caught tilapia in commercial seafood. And most tilapia farming happens in countries with very different quality standards than what we are used to. Farm tilapia has very low nutritional density. It is low in omega-3 fatty acids and offers very little of the anti-inflammatory benefit that makes fish worth eating in the first place. Additionally, because of the conditions in which it is farmed, it can be exposed to a range of contaminants. When I replaced tilapia with sardines or wild-caught salmon, I got dramatically more nutritional value for the same cost or less. The science on this is clear and consistent. The fish you choose matters enormously, not just for your protein intake, but for your inflammation levels, your hormone balance, your skin health, your joint health, and your energy. 2 years ago, I felt weaker than I should. My joints ached, and my skin was not reflecting how hard I was trying to take care of myself. The fish I was eating were part of the problem. Switching to wild-caught salmon, sardines, and mussels, and cutting out shark, albacore tuna, and tilapia was one of the most impactful changes I made. Not because fish is magic, but because at our age, every choice we make either supports our body or works against it. And the right fish absolutely supports it. If this video helped you see the seafood aisle differently, make sure to subscribe for more strategies that actually work for women our age. I'm Barbara Lawson. Thanks for watching.